Good evening, Sunday night check-in. What's going on? Today is Sunday night check-in, and I could also say today is day after the conference. Let's see who's gonna come in. I don't Good evening, good evening. Hey Chanel, or am I saying that right? Chanel or Chanel Holt 32622. Tina. Listen, I want to wait till a few more people are on, Tina, before I thank you. Before I thank you, I want to wait for a few more people. Women choosing to win. See you over here on YouTube. I normally send an alert. Hey, Cynthia Walker, but I see that you all. Hey, Tiana, I see that you all are getting notifications. I was concerned. Um, I was like, I did not send a text message, so I don't know who will know to come on. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Journey. Brady Boyd. Brady, we're so proud of you. We love you. We hope you are well. We know you are well. We have been praying for you, and um, so we are honored that you popped on for a moment and want you to know that we are praying for your success. We have been praying for your success, and we know that you will continue to succeed. So we are happy for you and proud of you. Hey, Journey. Hey, Kiana. Some of the people on here, Brady, you don't even know. We've had a prayer call, and we started out praying for Joshua, my Joshua, but we started praying for some of his friends as well for about the last 5 years. So seeing your name puts not necessarily a face because we're online, but allows the people that have heard me call your name in prayer to know that you are actually a real person. And we are congratulating you tonight. We are happy for you and grateful for all that God has allowed to unfold in your life. Hey, Kiana. Hey, Monique. Hey, Journey. Again, I did not send notifications. And sometimes people say, hey, Minister Sharif, that they don't receive my notifications. Hey, Christian worshiper, good evening, good evening. Um, so prayerfully, everybody received them today. They're coming in, they're coming in, they're coming in. Oh, I just sent a message. Let's see. So they'll get it. I just sent a text message alert. So they will receive it. We are, this is Sunday night check in, but this is the hangover after the conference. Ha. As you can hear, I already have a raspy voice, but as you can hear, my voice is still recovering from the last 3 days. And old school, I'm drinking water out of a glass and not out of, it's funny that drinking water out of a glass and that's old school. I'm drinking water out of a glass and not out of a bottle as normal. Hope you all are well. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Jasmine. I have two of the mentees who preached at the conference on here, Jasmine and Vanessa. Let's start off giving them a round of applause. Oh, no, there's number three. There's Daria. There's Daria. Hey, Aish, good to see you. Good to see you. We're going to talk about the whole conference, but yesterday, the mentees preaching was definitely one of the highlights. For those of you who all attended the conference, know what I'm talking about. Yes, this is the hangover after the glory. And so I'm going to go ahead, Miss Tina. And so we did go live a lot. I don't know, more than I anticipated. I did not plan to go live yesterday, and my husband said go live, so we went live. Cause here it is, cause I'm submissive. Uh, and so hope y'all are well. Hope y'all are well. Hope y'all are well. Hope y'all are well. Give me 1 second. You're welcome. Cynthia Walker said thank you. Hey, Honey Brown. What's going on, Honey Brown? Um, and who is it? What's your name? Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Carla. Hey, Smarty Pants. Um, Listen, let me start by saying this. On the very first day, I'm grateful for those of you who are faithful on coming on the check-ins and faithful online. That we live in a different society where we form relationships online. And so many of you, hey, Chelsea, come on in. Chelsea was on the panel. Many of you that come on online, excuse me, that I've never even really met in person. Hey Amanda, hey Jamila, thank you, thank you. And Tina is one of them, but Tina on here, Tina Foot over here on IG, she is normally in my online classes, and I want to thank you publicly, Tina. I had not sent a message. I feel like something's in my hair. I had not sent, this is, a new look, y'all, a new look in Jesus' name. Um, I had not, I've been so busy, Tina. I have not sent a message. Hey, Micah, um, to thank you for flowers. Tina is in Bermuda and was not able to come in person, but she has been a constant support of this ministry. And on the very first day, thank you, thank you. On the very first day, she sent flowers and a card and just to encourage and support. And so I am grateful. Tina, thank you. Love you so much. Um, yeah, Smarty Pants, who is Ebony. Hey, Minister Sudi. She had to watch online and she came in person on yesterday because she was in Ohio. I didn't get a picture with a lot of people. I was like, wait a minute. I thought I planned up front, like, hey, make sure to get pictures. So I can't believe, Daria, that we did not get pictures. Thank you for compliments on the new hair. I know on your cell phone, we didn't get a new picture. We didn't get a picture. Hey Marcia, um, good to see you. And so I want to thank you again, Tina, for your constant support. And thank you. I was definitely I was definitely elated when I received your flowers. So thank you for thinking of me and supporting. For those of y'all that just coming on, hey Nays Hair Formation, we're just excited. God really did exceed our expectations at closing again. She said, did anyone find her eyelashes? That's hilarious. Lady K. Harris said, did anyone find her eyelashes? Because listen, the Lord took eyelashes. He took even mine. He took even mine. I had to run out for a minute and let them put it back on because that's just the kind of time that we had. I am grateful, grateful, grateful that the Lord continues to show himself strong and mighty in our minds and our hearts, in the room, tangibly, that there is a tangible expression of his love. Honey Brown says, I left mine in the hotel every day because I knew I was going to cry. Yeah, Honey Brown, all the way from Atlanta. And I think Honey Brown is one of the ones. I don't even have them with me. I don't have one with me. I might have to ask my husband to go to the car. Hey, Joshua, can you ask your dad? Uh, oh, I do not need to let my phone die. Can you ask your dad where the pillows are so you can go bring one to me for me right quick. For those you listen, let's just start with the presentation. Hey Kim, the Lord did that. Listen, the people who it's funny, the company who did some of the decorations, hey, moving forward, and we had gone back and forth. They did the decorations last year, and they actually did the decorations 2 years ago when we had the eighth year celebration. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, she said she didn't wear makeup the last 2 days. Um, the company that did the decorations, That's what we needed to do, Minister Sudi, is get with the team, get the pictures up front. Hi, Dr. Nicole. Um, but the company who did the decorations, let me say this, they did the decorations when we had the 8 year. For I don't know if those of you remember, it was the bluish color, which I love that look. I did themselves that year, and then last year they did the decorations. And last year on the day of, I'm just gonna say, they called me before I got there, some of the team, and said, we don't know if this is actually the color that you want. And so then they FaceTime me, and I was like, that was not the color that I want. And I started having a fit on the phone. And I was like, this was last year. And so, but the company is so excellent that they fixed it. They FaceTime me. I wasn't there yet. And fixed everything before we got started. And so I was grateful. But this year we went up a notch. Hey, the one that loves chocolate. Hey, Taylor. This year we went up a notch. And it was elevated. And I told them, we have new merch. And I was like, we want to put something behind the merch table. And then they were like, no, you don't need a merch table. Well, no, they said you can have a merch table, but you also need a merch wall. And so the lady started sending me specs. And I was like, okay. And so now this year, the night before. So, now because last year some of the colors we had to correct. Hey, Elder Chris. Hey, Doctor. Hey, I was going to say Dr. Ruby Allen, but Miss Ruby Allen. I had, now we do everything in AI. Gone through ChatGPT and said, this is the brand of paint they use. What color should we use? All the things. And I sent them the color. And I appreciate them this year. They called me back the night before and said, is this the color you were looking for? And I said, no, indeed. They were like, this doesn't look like your mock-up. And even though the paint was the paint I requested. And so they repainted the wall that had what was it? The wall that had the pipe and drape behind it. They repainted the wall for me the night before. Um, can you text him and ask him? And then see if he can tell you so you can go get it. Hey, Edro. And so they repainted it for me. I was like, is it going to be dry? And they were like, basically, yes, we're professionals. It'll be ready. And so they did a phenomenal job. And if you want to use them and tell them that we referred you, we want you to go onto their their IG page, Balloons Wow. I believe it's Balloons with the S. Balloons Wow. That is their IG page. And so I should have got some, hopefully I'll send them some pictures so that they can have or that they took some of their own. I know, Edro, I slept a little bit. I have not had a lot of sleep. I have not had a lot of sleep. I'm gonna sleep tomorrow and the rest of the days. You're right though, Edro. But my husband also was like, you got to do a recap today. You can't wait till Monday. And so first of all, we were grateful for the decorations, grateful for the new merchandise. Yeah, Balloons Wow. Yeah, that's them. Yeah. I don't think it has, I think it's Balloons with the S. Wow. And there's another local church that's kind of popular that uses them a lot here as well. And so I was excited about the decorations. And the owner of it came out to make sure everything was okay that morning, and I wasn't there yet. My call time was not the time to set up. Praise the Lord. I thank the Lord for the team, but they knew they had done a good job because they had texted me. They were like, hey, are you going to be here? Because we want you to see it, because they already knew it was beautiful. And I'm sure it is rewarding to create something that looks so beautiful, to know that, hey, you're bringing a vision to life. And so yeah, I feel like we should have had like multiple people on here with me, because I am only one person and everybody could talk about the conference from their own vantage point. But the Lord did supersede our expectations from the master class. I think Free's not on here for decorating in that room, in that space. I think LaShonda and Sister Paula uh, for their laying of the spread. We had top tier. They told me the day before, we're going to take this off of your hand. I was going to do it a different way. And they were like, trust us. We know what we're doing. Anthony said, I'm late for work. Hey, Anthony. Hey, Francis. And so for the people that were in the master class, they can tell you how beautiful the charcuterie spread was for the entire. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you for the entire grazing table, as they called it. And so it was beautiful, beautiful, and the food was good. Um, and then, just the Lord did everything. I don't know what the highlights were. I don't know. I'm sure everybody has a different highlight, a different moment. But even on just Friday morning, I know I can't highlight me preaching. That would be a little boastful. But the Lord did. I was grateful. Honey Brown said, yes, everything was beautiful in the master class. I was like, no, I need this to look a little more elevated. And I was grateful for that. And most of the attendees did not get to see the step and repeat because we didn't want to overcrowd the lobby area. But the step and repeat, Daria created it. It was beautiful. It was in the room, and you'll see some pictures soon. It was in the room where we would take with the speakers. Um, she said when her voice comes back, she'll have more to say. Hey, walk away, Renee. Hey, why explain? And so let me say this. Why explain is the person that created the Closing the Gap pillows. For those of you who don't know, part of the decor in the lobby there was a sofa there. Yeah, there was a sofa there in the lobby that was not part of our decor. That's the church owns. That's part of their normal decor. And I was like, oh, it doesn't match our colors. And so Why Explain volunteered to help uh cover it, and she covered it and placed these pillows over there, and people started asking. It was, to us, it was just a decoration. I did not even anticipate that people would ask um to purchase the pillows. Hey, Nima, I didn't see you come on. um yeah, I understand, Anthony, due to can you get another one too that's darker, because
Trying to find the other one in there.
that's darker, because I don't know how well they'll see this color. For those. So you still haven't seen the pillows. Let me step back, even though you can see my wall some over here. So for those, this is one of the Closing the Gap pillows. This is in the I don't know if it's this is this a dusty rose or dusty pink? Yeah, and so this is one of the pillows. And so there were different sizes and different variations of pink. And I'm gonna put it down there. I feel like I'm Vanna White holding something up. But this is one of the pillows that was on one of the sofas. Again, one more time. And Why Explain made these. She made these. She Yeah. So Honey Brown did buy the first one. She's like, she wish she would have had room in her bag to buy another one. She did purchase the first one. So thank you, thank you, thank you, Nima. Oh, thank Minister Sudi. I may need some of your pictures too, even though that's Anthony said he wants to get Serenity one, his daughter. And so yeah, we had no idea. She said they match her room. Darius said they match her room. So we had no idea that I didn't anticipate that people would want to purchase them. And so I don't know. This may be a new part of a merch line, but it's actually she took she took the Closing the Gap from the graphic. It just was excellent. Dr. Cecilia said, I missed all the merch. I went straight in to sit down and receive what I needed, got what I came for, and I'm grateful. And so yeah, the we had new merch, we had new merch, we had new merch, we had um new premium hoodies that said on the front, Closing the Gap with the new logo. That's true. Vanessa says Serenity needs a whole Closing the Gap line, because being the goddaughter and all, being our goddaughter and all. Walk away, Renee. We are working. I am working. I'm gonna get with Daria or Vanessa, but they're both real busy right now. Aletta, to see about getting this site up for the new merchandise. And so We have the premium hoodies, which are even a whole different brand, and more elevated, and therefore they cost a little more. They probably will go up even because the cost of the even just the hoodies by themselves. I will say it's the only one you. The others are in the back of Aunt Lisa's car, of the white car. Yes, I think that's where he put them.
That one was in that room, but it's no more in that room.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to keep one of these colors. So we do have to get a pop-up shop. That's true. We got to set a pop-up shop soon. We do. I do speak in Dallas in July at an event, and I need to just make sure that they allow me to bring some merch. It's on a Sunday night. I speak for one of the ladies on the prophetic panel, the one that got up with authority, Dr. Beverly Enike, much authority and power. She said, now I need a premium hoodie. It's July. Y'all look at the calendar and tell me what day it is. Is it the 26th? Whatever that Sunday is. I will add the pillows to the merch. We have learned. We will add the pillows to the merch page. Pop-up shop indeed. And I don't know where to have a pop-up shop, but we will have a pop-up shop indeed. So we will have a meeting of the minds with Daria and Why Explain, because Why Explain is one that did the pillows. It is, somebody look at the calendar. Is it July 25th or 6th? Um, it's whatever I don't remember. That's hilarious. Not closing the gap lash glue. Not closing not closing the gap lash glue. Somebody look at the calendar though. Is it the 25th? Maybe it's the 25th on a Sunday night, the 25th. But I'll try to have merchandise there. But um the pillows, yes. It's the 26th. Thank you, Vanessa. So I preach on Sunday night, the 26th. And so I'll get that flyer and start advertising that flyer. Um, my birthday is July 15th. I should do a pop-up shop for my birthday, but I don't know that I have time to do that. But my birthday is July 15th, 7/26. So yes, we will have a meeting of the minds about the merch. So we had the premium hoodie, the closing the gap, and closing the gap is a phrase that is already out there. People talk about closing many gaps, but ours is different because our gap is spiritual. And then there's a tagline on the back of that hoodie. I'm not going to say it right now out loud because that tagline is the subtopic for my book. So when you see that hoodie and it has something on the back, I didn't know that, Tiana, that it's the same day. Your birthday is the same day. So I got to get the book out. I got to get the book out. I was supposed to have the book out for the conference, did not. So I repent. I repent. And because there are two books now, I was supposed to get the book out for the conference because I have another book that I know I have to release by the end of the year. So I don't know. I've been talking to the Lord and said, I don't know, maybe there's a strategy that I could release both books simultaneously. But Closing the Gap book has to go first. And so because the second one is kind of birthed as a result of Closing the Gap, but that's for later. So we had that. We had Jesus Over Therapy. We put Jesus Over Therapy again in a premium hoodie as well. We had some of the standards that we had before, which were a different price point. And then we had the premium. He said, yes, ma'am, go ahead and repent. And then we had the premium a price again, which was um the premium price again for the red Jesus Over Therapy, which was a more elevated look. Then we released Prayer is a Dialogue, not a monologue. Y'all have heard me say that for years. We released it in a crop top. Um, thank you, thank you. She said, Dr. Cecilia said, my team is phenomenal. Please know I will fight someone for your elder Erica. Just know that. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm happy your son received the Jesus Over Therapy hoodie. And I'm telling you, every time my son wears it, somebody wants to know where they can purchase it. So I definitely have left a lot of money on the table. We were just going somewhere recently, and the people in the airport asked, hey, where can we get that hoodie, and where can we buy that? And my son was like, oh, that's my mom's. And then he was like, okay, well, what's the site? And so yes, I got to do it. I have to get that up and running soon. um what is it? Jesus. Oh, prayer is a dialogue, not a monologue, came in two. One in the crop top, so clearly that was for women, and one that was kind of unisex, where a man or a woman could purchase it. It was brown with cream ivory writing. The prayer is a dialogue, not a monologue crop top, which is not real crop. It actually stops right at the top of your pants. And so it was ivory with brown writing. And then we just had a lot of different. This just don't worry about it. It's just Elder Dobbins. Um, we had a lot of different Jesus Over Therapy shirts in different colors just to see kind of like what people like. I didn't want to buy a lot of stuff that people did not really want, and so um, he wants the oversized one in black, Jesus Over Therapy. Oversized hoodie or shirt, because we did have an oversized shirt. Um, Thank you. The ivory brown with is cute. Thank you. And so my husband is talking about the mothers and daughters gear because Vanessa on here FaceTime me with her daughter, and her daughter said, I want a shirt like mommy's. And her daughter is 4. Is Serenity 4? Is Serenity going to be 5? He said shirt. Okay. So he wants the oversized shirt. Okay. So, hey, Renee on Anointed Vessel. Thank you for serving Dr. Delane. Thank you. Thank you for helping us in serving Dr. Delane Smith. Um, yes, she is 4. So she is going to be 5. And so she said, I want a shirt like Mommy and Zion. So Vanessa and Zion both, yes, 5 in September. I knew September. So we I guess are gonna get some shirts. So, yes, my husband said, tell him how good my man looked in his hoodie. And she said Taylor stole her whole prayers and dialogue off her back, so she'll get another one. That is so sorry. That is funny. They said, so Elder Chris said, I have the pillows. Now I need blankets and a neck rest. What? I don't, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So on this side, my husband is saying that people that I was drooling over him in the hoodie. But I will say, when he put the hoodie on, he had seen it, but it wasn't until he put it on. Hey, Shalise, First Lady Shalise, it wasn't until he put it on that he was like, "Oh, this is a premium. Oh, look what this feel like." And so that hoodie, yes. Even when Okay, babe. He said bracelets. Okay, I don't know what a closing the gap bracelet will look like. Jamila said over here on YouTube, she feels sorry for Dr. Delane's enemies who run into her in a dark alley at night. She sounds like she ready to throw hands with the quickness. Hey, she plans, God leads. I really want to show y'all my other shirt, but I feel like she said yes, CTG blankets. Okay. Okay. Where did Joshua go? Where's my son Joshua? Can Josh, let me tell Joshua to come here and talk to y'all for 1 second while I go get this other shirt that I know he can't go get. Come, let me see. Let me see. Joshua, can you come talk to them for 1 second so my screen isn't blank about the conference? And I'm gonna go get this other shirt that I want them to see. And they saved one for me. I should have sold it, just so I didn't sell it all. I'm gonna go. I know. I know. No, he's on. He's on. Can you give them your assessment of the conference?
You live on your computer too?
Oh, yes, I'm live on YouTube and on the phone. Speak to people.
How y'all doing? That's what it be like. Miss Daria. Miss Daria done brought the word, man. She done brought the word, man. Power of prayer. Hezekiah done prayed and asked for extra 15 years and God done gave it to him. Sometimes you just got to tell God, remember me. Remember everything I've done. He gonna, you know what I'm saying, get on that wall. Get on your knees and just, you know what I'm saying, cry out. But nah, yeah, definitely. We got some new colors. We got an orange color that ain't really been out yet. I had one of the shirts, but she made the shirt color, but she hasn't really made a lot of Jesus over therapy. Definitely get them prayers, the dialogue shirts. I need to get me one. The conference was smooth though. She went 3 for 3. 3 for 3. My dog Anthony. My dog Mr. Anthony. Okay, how y'all? Yeah, Tristan. Miss Vanessa. But nah, yeah. Definitely come get y'all some merch and shop.
Vanessa's on there too. Talk about her stomach. I'm coming.
Now I just said something to Miss Vanessa. 3 days of heat. Let me see. And I got homework for y'all, and this ain't even my live. So Miss Jasmine, Honey Brown, Lady Harris. Okay, we got everybody on here. But you know, she definitely went 3 for 3. Overly. But Pop's being federal right now, Ma. She enjoyed the conference. Savannah enjoyed the conference. She was singing. It's good, Miss Jasmine. I really want y'all to, after y'all get off this live, I want y'all to go read Isaiah 58, verses 8 through 11. That'll be y'all homework. That'll be y'all homework. Isaiah, I'm finna put it in the chat too. Y'all think I'm playing. Yeah, they got homework. If they ain't, if they ain't never, if they don't have, if they ain't read today, they need to read something.
They went to church.
We don't know if every single one of them went to church.
Okay.
Isaiah 58, verses 8 through 11. I'm finna put it in the chat right now.
Okay.
The Lord will guide you continually and satisfy your soul in the drought and strengthen your bones. You shall be like a watered garden. Don't be God's disappointed vineyard.
Okay. Thank you.
That's why Jesus said, I'm the true vine. Yeah. Because he had to undo the disappointing. Yeah. But I'll let her come back. And Savannah, Miss Jasmine said, she said, your mom doesn't give us homework. But now, yeah, y'all go read Isaiah 58, 8 through 11.
Brady came on at the beginning.
Oh, that's what's up. And Savannah, that's my old lady. That's who that is.
Oh my God.
He in there, he being federal. He talking about tell him who Savannah is.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Y'all pray for us. Y'all see that we have do not Daria, do not.
See, he said
Your dad said let him flow. Let him flow. We have to let him flow at a different time. Thank you, son. Thank you, son.
I'm real, y'all better go read Isaiah 58.
Not his old lady. They don't even say that anymore. She said, now we finna have closing the gap home. Not your old And his girlfriend Savannah did sing a couple of days with backup. Minister Sudi said, I took a picture of you and your old lady. Y'all do not
buy. She did. They did. Yeah. Yeah.
He does have, I guess, an old soul.
Thank you.
With new age vernacular. New age as in modern.
Thank you.
Thank you what?
Miss Renee Hornbuckle said, oh, he just has an old soul. Thank you.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm gonna show the pillows again and then this shirt. So we had, I don't know if you can tell the difference in the colors though. My lighting isn't good. But here's another one of the pillows. Oh Lord. Closing the Gap Next Generation. We definitely had Closing the Gap Next Generation in the room yesterday. And clearly it's not just women because Tristan was up there representing the guys. This is one color. Joshua, come get these back for me so I don't just leave them out. This is another one. They're different shapes, as you can see. This is a different color, a variation. I don't think I can, my lighting, it may show better on IG. That is why y'all get along sometimes. My husband said, put the pillow, babe, if I put it under my chin, that doesn't look right. Babe, don't do that. Yes. So we thank Y Explain for her expertise. Even if you see how she packaged them and brought them, it's like she's been doing this forever. Like this is her, like this is what she does. Let me find out that this is what she does. Cause yeah, let me find out. All the gifts and talents are being exposed. He is cutting up. He is cutting up, Derry. I'm trying to ignore him. So this is the last thing I'm gonna show. She said my twin. I'm gonna take it out of the bag so I can show it. Well, you can kind of see it. This was our commemorative 10-year merch. This is a shirt. It's funny. I told Jasmine the way they folded these shirts in here. I said, listen, um, my mama taught me to she said, tell Josh my homework is done. I need credit, teacher's credit. Um, this is commemorative merch. And we did, it's again, it's on me. We only had 15 of this. If people do want this shirt, if you DM us and let us know, this is an oversized shirt. So even when you get it in your normal size, okay, why explain? Even when you get it in your normal size, this is an oversized, it's like a washed black, and it has the flyer on it. And this was Jasmine's creative idea. She was like, when we go to concerts, we get concert shirts, and I think you should do something like that. Yeah, the faded wash. And so this this is more of also a premium price. But if you, again, they saved me one. I should have went on and sold it, but I think I needed one. Let me put this here. So hey Naisha. So yeah, once again, this one. And so if you want one of these at this point, I'm gonna take orders so that I know to make them all at one time. Hey Shannon, hey Shannon. Um, yeah, so people wanted to buy the pillows. Thank you. Yeah, that was people wanted to buy the pillows. Oh, don't forget. Now, true oversized carry bags. I do think when people will want those. Babe, that's corny. Okay, y'all don't pay Pastor Dobbins any attention. Um, so yeah, this is no, that we didn't have them yet. She said she wanted us to get oversized carry bags. We didn't have them yet, Lady K Harris. I think they're suggesting that we need oversized like totes. Okay, someone just compliment your shirts at Walmart. Okay, I will definitely get a site so people can start ordering. I will definitely do that. I don't know if you saw too. So we had a couple of Jesus over therapies in the no one saw it. We only had one. The first day Bernadette had it on in a washed, it was a pink, but a washed pink Jesus over therapy. And when she put it on, I was like, oh, I should have had more of those. So no one really got to see that one. Um, so yeah, we are grateful. She said we want all we want them, all of them. And so that's the merchandise. Okay, always a great idea. Oversized tote, duffel bag. Okay. Okay, we're gonna have a pop-up shop for real soon. Um, so that's the merch. The merch went to another level. The decorations went to another level. We've always had top tier experience with the Lord. That's one thing we've always curated and created an environment. Okay, and people have asked for the crop shop. Even my goddaughter Ebony told me when she took a picture in it and posted it that yes, closing the gap t-shirt in the wash black is fire. I do plan to get some of those. Walk away, Renee. I do plan to get most. That's true. There is my goddaughter Ebony coming on too. Hey, William, how are you, Prophet William? Um, Pop-up shop and book signing at one time. Thank you, Vanessa. That's the idea. That is the idea right there. Pop-up shop and book signing at one time. Okay. Pastor Dobbins say you see sisters all over the world rolling through the airport with pink, purple, white, and assorted color duffel bags. But yes, Vanessa, that is it. Pop-up shop and book signing. That's the idea. I'm gonna talk about one of the highlights. We were grateful that Kitty Rose was part of the Generations panel. The Generations panel. Oh Lord, now they added luggage. Jesus help me. Hey Ebony. We were grateful that um Kitty Rose joined us for the Generations panel. Chelsea wasn't on here. I don't know if she's still on here. Chelsea did a great job. Oh, there's my sister from another Mr. Michelle Harris Collins. Love you, sis. Chelsea did a great job. Chelsea did a really good job. I'm really proud of Chelsea. She just turned 24 years old. She really did a great job. And I know the Lord is going to do something great and mighty with her. Okay, I receive that, Anthony, in Jesus' name. I got to show my sis Michelle this. Michelle, she just came on, y'all. Michelle, this is one of the new merch that we have commemorating 10 years. This is one of the shirts that we had. Her daughters are absolutely amazing. I do want to do something with them. I want to do something with Gen Z. So let me say that. I want to do something with Gen Z and younger millennials. I want to do something with and for them. Now, my people will still be a part of helping me do it. And then, Michelle, we had some decor. Now people want to buy the different pillows. I got to show Michelle because she's a fashionista herself. We have different Closing the Gap pillows that we had just for decorations, and people started asking how can they buy the pillows. So I guess now we're adding. I'm showing this to Michelle. I know I showed y'all already. Now we're adding different pillows to the merch line, I guess, in real time. I can't wait to catch up. Um, I think I need to see you in person, Michelle. I don't know. I don't know. I think we haven't decided on the pillows. How much was this t-shirt? I think this t-shirt was $50 because it's a premium shirt and commemorative, and it was, of course, more to make. I think the t-shirt was $50. Um, we have not decided on the pillows because people start asking for the pillows. We did sell one yesterday to uh um oh, it was $60 for the premium shirt. Thank you, Honey Brown. Y'all help me. I, okay, why everybody that wants the that shirt, DM me. Thank you, y'all. I didn't know. I don't know the price. So the pillows, how much are the pillows, y'all? Once we found out how much, I know in real time somebody was saying $25. We do need Closing the Gap in California. We do need Closing the Gap in California. Um and then the White Swain had to tell me how much they were to make them, and I was like, okay, okay, yeah, okay. It was 55 for the small pillow. Um, Darius said, "Don't DM. She'll do an order form tomorrow." And where will we put the order form, Daria? Taylor, not $100. Taylor, you just throwing something out there. Um, So the pillows are different sizes. Like, so I do know they will be different per size. Like this is a different size. Um, I think this is the same size, just different color. No, this was actually smaller than that other one. So the pillows are different sizes. And I really have to sit down with why explain who created the pillows to see what it is going to take us to. Okay, so Darius said tomorrow we will have a form in my link tree and in my story for orders, particularly for this, but whichever one you want that we had, but particularly for this shirt, the commemorative shirt, so we can get those made. Because after a while, I don't know if people are going to want the commemorative shirt, but maybe they always will. I'm not sure. But I do, some of it is online on my YouTube, Michelle. We did end up going live. So I think several services are online. Thank you. Why Explain says pillows are 12 by 20, 14 by 14, 18 by 18, and 20 by 20. What did Minister Sudi say? He said, my baby's a mogul and she don't know it yet. Um, for those of us who are mature age, we would appreciate a fan. Listen, I would appreciate a fan. Okay, so you want us to sell fans. Okay, where them fans at? Okay. Ben Shar said we're currently seeking a COO. Exactly. Amen. Thank you. Elder Chris said for me to find out from the supplier what the cost is to make them and then just do our markup. So yesterday we sold the pillow for $55. Um, it's just impromptu. We will set a price and go through all of that once I get with all the costs. But yes, this is expansion. We do have personal summers. Yes, the Dusty Rose could work so many places. I agree. I agree. The fans will definitely sell. William is currently doing research right now for me. Y'all, this is hilarious. This is real time. This is live. This is a recap, y'all. I do want to say something. I am going to say some spiritual. I'm going to close with something spiritual because I realized I didn't even talk about the significance of the completion of 10 years in totality. And so I want to talk about that, that the 10 years. And I will say this to you all for the remainder of the year is pretty set, but we are listening attentively. I see the Lord giving us something like a State of the Union, how people have a State of the Union address. I see him giving us new instructions going forward when we begin 2027. So that's true. Dr. Cecilia says we have until August to have merch pop up at Closing the Gap that is already scheduled. That's true. So Closing the Gap is August the 8th. Closing the Gap is August the 8th. We're not having it in the month of July because we're resting from everything we did at the conference, as well as July is my birthday month. And so the next Closing the Gap locally is August the 8th. And I agree with you, Dr. Cecilia. We should have a pop-up shop on that August the 8th. And so if I'm doing that, I already had one location in mind where we were having it. But if we're doing that, I will seek out a different location where the pop-up shop will be feasible. So thank you for that suggestion, Dr. Cecilia. And I can start pre-orders for Closing the Gap. Yes, August. I can do pre-orders. Well, I don't want to do pre-orders only, but I can do pre-orders. Honey Brown said her pillow is part of her home altar. And she said, and your son already gave us spiritual homework. He did. He did. But so I wanted to go back to the generations panel. So of course, the masterclass was amazing. For those that were in the masterclass, the Lord used Pastor Dobbins greatly. And then the Lord had me come in. Pastor Dobbins talked about his book that's coming out, S4. And I know I get them wrong, but I think it's Structure, Systems, Solutions. And why can't I think of the other one? Structure, system, strategy, system, structure, strategy, um excuse me, system, structure, strategy, solution, probably not all in that order. Then the Lord had me to talk about those four things, what that looks like spiritually. What are your system structures, system, structure, strategy, and solutions look like spiritually? I can't believe my computer just closed like that. What does it look like spiritually? And so the Lord really moved in the master class. And then I preached, of course, on redigging the well on Thursday night. And there were several ladies locally in our not in our neighborhood, in our community in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and a prayer shawl. Okay, thank you, Minister Sharif. But there were several ladies who are a little bit older than me that the Lord had me reach out and invite. Dr. Kathy Moffitt, he had me to invite. Dr. Renee Hornbuckle, he had me to invite, and there was another one who was not able to come, but the Lord had me to invite them, and I knew from what he shared with me that I would speak to them and give them what the word of the Lord is for right now. Their season is not over. Their season is not over. One of the words that the Lord released, though, not just to them, but to the entire room, if y'all remember on Thursday night, was that there is a crisis that is coming, and the church is going to be the solution. Some of you who feel like underused, overlooked, under all the things, they're going to have to come back and look for you because you are the solution to the crisis. I also saw a collapse of sort. I'm not sure a collapse of what. We will be praying that through and praying that it's not like the collapse of something that will cause the lives of lives to be lost and all of those things. And so we are praying through some of that, and some of that I need to go back and listen to myself because the Lord was giving it to me in real time. And so Thursday night was a powerful night in the Lord. And then we came back Friday morning, and the generations panel, we had as I stated, are very, very proud of Chelsea, um thank you. Mine your life today. Chelsea was amazing on the panel. Pastor Topaz Thornton shared her story on the panel. She was amazing. And Kitty Rose, of course, um, um, we know Kitty Rose. Kitty Rose is Kitty Rose, and the Lord is using her. What is and I'm forgetting how can I cannot forget Chelsea, Kitty, Pastor Dana Hemphill. I was really blessed by Pastor Dana. She shared a lot of her story, things that we did not know, and they even talked about the struggles of motherhood. Pastor Dana talked about it. The joy, but we're not openly talking about it. And Kitty Rose even talked about it because she has two sons that are special needs. And so really we didn't, I thought women were going to have like a lot of relationship questions, but this actually was like just not even about a husband, a boyfriend. This were really things that we talked about that were pertaining to women, not women's, Lord, I hope I didn't say that, women. And then Elder Teresa. Elder Teresa is Elder Teresa, my mentor. And the Lord used her. She was dropping, as they say, the mic, or Kitty Rose. And that's the thing. Minister Sudi said Kitty Rose received the blessing herself. It was my goal not to take from her. It was my goal that she didn't just come to our conference and we be like everybody else and take. When you're going up, when God is elevating anybody. Oh, how are you doing? How are you doing? Oh, Richard, your sister. Hold on, y'all. This is this is this is Richard over here on YouTube. He says, "I didn't know you were that powerful. Seriously, thank you, Richard. But I want y'all to know he is Pastor Karen's brother, the attorney who was on the business panel. And so we'll come back to Pastor Karen because Pastor Karen wrecked us, not only with her intellect and knowledge, but she closed the business panel singing in worship. And the Spirit of the Lord fell in that room on a business panel that I thought, Lord, are we getting ready to even get to go forward in church? But back to Kitty Rose. Yeah, she packs a punch. Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know about this business panel. I feel like we need to go on the road or something, because the business panel was fire with the level of information that we received, but also with the anointing that was on the panel as well. But back to Kitty Rose, we appreciate her. We appreciate her. She had to fly out so she had a hard stop of 11 a.m. But I was grateful. It was always my intent that when she came into our space, we would do for her what we always do at Closing the Gap. We are birthers, we are pushers, we stir up gifts, we do all of those things. We do not just you just not come in our space and we just take from you, and the Lord is elevating Kitty Rose. And she gave some of her testimony at the end there. I won't re-give her testimony at this time. I want her to disseminate it as she deems appropriate, even though she said it publicly. But I was grateful that we had the opportunity to have seasoned women around her, laying hands and praying with her and for her. And as I told the women in the room, don't just be her fan, be her intercessor. The Lord is sending her into dark spaces, and we cover her with the blood of Jesus. And so I was grateful that we were able to give back to her spiritually. I was grateful that she was able to come, and that some people in the natural, they want a name. And so her name, for some, not for most, but for some, gave validity to what the Lord was doing. They saw it and said, oh, this is real. They saw her on it and said, oh, this is real. And so I appreciate her for using her for name, her image and likeness, if you will, to add credibility to the conference. Yes, I they were talking about things we do with children, and everybody on IG, to the people over here on YouTube, they're having a conversation in the comments about Elder Teresa, my mentor, who was the most senior person on the platform on that generations panel. She began to apologize for her generation and the things that they didn't do right. And so it was a healing moment too. It was a healing moment. And she began to lay hands. And I was even grateful that my goddaughter, it looked like Ebony wasn't going to get her a question answered, because in the middle of the panel, Elder Teresa starts laying hands. And so also it was organic for us to pray over Kitty, because, and I'm going to say this to you publicly, I don't want anybody to think that we're doing anything for show. So I even asked Kitty before, is it okay? You have to be wise when you're doing ministry. We don't just come in and be like, thus said the Lord, and blah. No, no, no. You have to be wise, wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. And I asked her, do you mind us praying for you and covering you? I used to work. I did not know Kitty before. Maybe I met her in March when we both spoke at a panel. But her cousin is one of my closest friends. One of her older cousins is one of my closest friends, LaShonda, that comes to Closing the Gaps. Y'all have seen her, and she's 6 feet tall, so you all will distinctly know who she is. Kim says she broke down when Elder Teresa apologized for their generation and said that they didn't get some things right. But I also was honored to know, well, not honored, I knew there would be a connection, because when I found out LaShonda was related to Kitty, LaShonda even made me know who Kitty was. Um, she's like, you worked with her mama. And so I worked with Kitty Rose's mama in corporate America. And so I'm saying LaShonda's name, and here she comes on. And so that also made me, because I knew her mom, I was like, oh, this is real, because I knew, not that I doubt it, but because I knew her mom and I saw the testimony and the life that her mother lived at work and at our job. And so I was honored, definitely. LaShonda connected us, and I was grateful for that. And then I met her. LaShonda had connected us, and then I met her when we both spoke at a panel in Houston earlier this year, the Rebuilding Her conference. And so, we spoke at a conference. We weren't on a panel. She was on a panel. I preached. No, Elder Teresa does not come to play. No matter, she is a giant. She is definitely a giant in the spirit. And I am grateful to give her space, because a lot of times we see people in our respective churches, and they're not the lead people, so you don't get to see them in the fullness of who they are. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that Elder Teresa gets to stand fully in who she is at Closing the Gap, and that not only do I respect her and the oil on her life, but everyone around us respects, the oil on her life. And so I'm grateful for that. And so that was, once Elder Teresa laid hands, that just shifted everything. Our conference schedule got behind. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Ebony. And so our conference schedule got behind. And it didn't matter. We already knew that it would probably get behind. And we had powerful worship by Tanash, and then we had Pastor Christina Segundo. She began her sessions showing us pictures of people who were at the point of death, or people that the doctors had given up on and that had been healed. And so she did teach a word, but she really came, her assignment, I believe, were for the people that she came. She did preach and teach a word, but she taught, she laid hands, she called out women who were married and not able to conceive and laid hands on them. Also, people who had tumors in their bodies, she laid hands on them, and she laid hands on a few with cancer. I knew that her assignment was the gift of healing that is in her life, and it is the gift of healing, but it is also the gift of faith that she flows in so effortlessly. And then I don't know if people were caught off guard because so many people came up to me about Pastor Christie Johnson. But we're gonna keep it as they say, a buck. Here we are in this predominantly African American space, and Pastor Christie Johnson comes in. She's a Caucasian lady, but she's so tiny in stature, but she is a fireball. And when I met her, when she and I preached at a conference, in San Bernardino, California, I saw then she was a fireball. And I saw then she was a fireball, and I saw that she didn't get to flow fully in what was in her. And I always said then, I always said then, oh, I want to do something with her where she can be free to do what's in her to do, because I saw hints of it there. And I get it. It's no shade to the every place, you know, we respect time. I get it. And so other people, but closing the gap, we're a little different. Taylor said she was really, really good. She was really good. Taylor came up to me. He said, we got to bring her back next year. And so I think it surprised people how powerful she was in her preaching and teaching, how she was authentically herself. She wasn't trying to be like anybody else. And then, you know, she flowed prophetically. She started off prophesying to me, laying hands on me, prophesying to a few other people. Then she laid hand and labored with the people. And so I was grateful, 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 because I think sometimes we stereotype, and I mean all of us in the body, and typecast what we expect from certain people. And so I was grateful that you all got to experience the ministry of Pastor Christie Johnson. She and her husband are doing a great work in um in Los Angeles. And so I am excited about what God is getting ready to do with them in the next season. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. The Lord gave me a word for her. And I even know now I'm going to call her this week because I need to unpack a few things more that I really saw. And so I'm grateful for her ministry, grateful for her impact. And then we had the prophetic panels, and the prophets are coming. The prophets came out swinging, and we started on 10, and then we kind of brought it in because I do want people to get an understanding. I don't want people to just be in a moment that they can't determine what's really the spirit or emotions, but I want them to be able. Hey, Meredith, we're so glad that you were able to attend. Um, thank you, Elder Inger. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Yeah, she was amazing. Pastor Christie was amazing. Yeah, Pastor Christie was amazing. And yeah, she just was amazing. That's all we can say. And so I'm excited about her. I was excited about the panel. The business panel, as I stated, I think was it just was refreshing that the level of intellect that was displayed on the business panel, yet the same level of spiritual authority. Sometimes we think you have to lose intellect to be spiritual, or you know, that they don't coexist. And even, you know, there are some denominations that believe the more Pentecostal or charismatic you are, the less knowledge you have, and it's simply not true. It's simply not true. Pastor Karen, who is an attorney, just the level of, even like I said to her, like she said, let me nerd out for a moment. I said, you got too much swag to even call yourself a nerd. And she says, I'm a charismatic nerd. And so she just was amazing. It was amazing. She said she didn't realize that this this conference was this prophetic. And actually, we could call Closing the Gap a prophetic conference, because generally anybody I'm drawn to is going to flow in the prophetic in some capacity, whether or not they call themselves a prophet or not, whether it is just a gift of prophecy or whether they are a prophet. Generally, everybody that I'm connected to flows prophetically. And Leslie, I joked with her. I said this publicly. I said she's a prophet in running. And so the level of expertise and the warning and knowledge that Leslie has, and the way she was able to disseminate that knowledge in a way that was not only for understanding, but it was also to cause people to want to action. Many people talk to her on the side about how do we prepare for what we are seeing. What you talked about, I haven't heard before. How do we prepare for that? And so I was very excited, and I left her for last. Elder Tawanji Hillard, she was phenomenal on the business panel. I felt like she held back a little, because I know what it's like. She knew she had to preach the next day, because her business and her ministry are so intertwined that she almost can't tell you about business without really giving you true principles of the kingdom. And then she almost can't tell you about, and I said this with all respect, many people listen to, and we still listen to and get nuggets of wisdom from Miles Monroe, though he's not here. Um, though he's not here. And so we still get knowledge from him. And I said Elder Tawanji is like a female Miles Monroe in understanding the principles of the kingdom. And when I tell you, the Lord has allowed her, she told her testimony as a previously justice involved person, which is the new way that they describe the terminology that they use to describe those who have been formerly incarcerated. But for Elder Tawanji, she gave you business nuggets and but on Saturday, Elder Tawanji, Elder Tawanji rocked the house. On Saturday, you have it's I think it's recorded. You have to go back and listen. You have to go back, and you have to go back and listen. Elder Tawanji and then Pastor Tawanda Usher. Let's just back on up. Let's back on up. I skipped over the mentees. I'll come back to the mentees because I'm going from Elder Tawanji. Let me back up to Dr. Ruby Holland on Friday night. Let me back up to Dr. Ruby Holland. And I was saying earlier, yeah, let me back up to Dr. Ruby Holland. Uh, there is only one Dr. Ruby Holland. I think one of the things that blessed me the most was in her introduction, when she acknowledged Dr. Cynthia James in the room, who is a little bit her senior. Dr. Ruby Holland, she said it herself on Friday, being 65, I believe, and Dr. James is her senior, and how she said she has soft mentored her from afar, which means as a woman in ministry, she has gleaned from her from afar. But she first was introduced to her when she went to college, and I think it was somewhere in the late 70s, and Dr. James was in proximity in that area was from the Bay Area before she moved to Dallas. She's originally from Alabama, but she moved here from the Bay Area, and Dr. Ruby Holland was in college in that area. And so the Lord used Dr. Ruby Holland to remind us of some things about who we are, and about the greater purpose and the greater call that yeah, everybody got to know it's a complete sentence, but how the know it's a complete sentence. But yeah, Dr. Ruby is one of one, because Dr. Ruby preaches all over this world and still somehow maintains the ability to be amongst the people. When I say she's all over the world, she is all over the world. And even at her age and stage, she is at 4 or 5 places preaching every week. Lady Finister said she had no words for what that moment. Lady Shannon has served Dr. James, and so when Dr. James received from Dr. James received the words that Dr. Ruby Holland spoke over her. And the words that Dr. Ruby Holland spoke over her, I had to come back later and say it. Is that and that T. Renee Glenn, Pastor T. Renee Glenn, had prophesied those same words over Dr. over Dr. James a couple of years ago. And sometimes in our culture, once people get of a certain age, we put them in a category and we don't receive or reap the full benefit of what they have. And so I love you, Shannon. Me and Shannon have been friends forever. Shannon is not somebody you see me with all the time, but she is somebody that if I need to call her in the middle of the night, I can call her in the middle of the night and she would show up. And she had Dr. James. She brought her Friday night. And so when the word was given to Dr. James went up, but I went and hugged Shannon because Shannon was trying to serve Dr. James. But when you love somebody and you're the armor bearer and you have served them, you get blessed like it's you. And she really began to worship and get blessed. And I said to her, I'm gonna hold you while you holding her, because I understood the weight of what that moment meant to both of them. And so everything was, I'm gonna tell you that Friday started with, hey Jiley, Friday started with that generations panel and the spirit of the Lord breaking out during the generations panel. Hey Reagan, love you. Thank you, thank you. Reagan is on here. She was the worshiper on Friday night. And Reagan is one of one. You know, Reagan is one of one. I have an affinity for some of the younger worshipers. Um, oh, let me say this properly. Reagan is one of one, Reagan Allen. I have an affinity for some of the younger worshipers who have the distinction of being able to tap into an ancient well, an ancient oil. Reagan has the ability to be relevant, uh, even to be trendy, if you will. But there is such a well in Reagan that even being trendy somehow has an old sound. Let me say it that way. And so we love you, Reagan, and we thank you for all that you do. Hey, Diana. Diana is Faithful Closing the Gap. And so the spirit shifted on the generations panel. I wondered, I didn't even get to questions about relationships on the relations. I'm gonna go back to that generations panel because the sum total of who women are, who we are, is not us just being with a husband or something like that. And I think the Lord had his way on that generations panel, particularly when Elder Teresa apologized, particularly to when Kitty Rose got to talk about the struggles of having two children, two sons, particularly with special needs, and even talked about her daughter and challenges we can have with raising us, when we see us in our children, which then even allow Pastor Dana Hemphill to go into more detail and talk about her daughter. And just even, we've known Pastor Dana for a long time. I heard her share things in that context that we had never heard before. Thank you, Prophet William. I'm behind on the podcast. I know. Thank you, sir. I started recording the podcast last year. I actually have podcast recordings that I never released. So thank you for that push. Um, and there was a healing in the room. There was a healing in the room that began on that generations panel, because I believe when God does it generationally, it is different than people just me getting it here or you getting it there. When it's generationally, that means there is a vastness of the flow of the spirit, that everybody in the room can get what they need in the way that they need it. There were many that were crying, and I asked Elder to touch the young lady that we had seen. I had seen her crying throughout the conversation that we were having, because my goal was not to just have a conversation. I wanted the conversation to lead to transformation. And so I was grateful that we were able to also minister to the needs of the people. Yes, Elder Chris said Dr. James is truly the Caleb of the Moses generation. Oh, that's good. And is still yet able to fight the good fight of faith. Yes. And even those ladies that the Lord had me to call out, Dr. Renee Hornbuckle, um, and Dr. Kathy Moffitt, and some of those ladies that I said the Lord still has work for them to do. It's because they plowed the ground in a season, and we don't even know what it's like to plow in a ground that was that hard. The ground has been broken up now, and so we come in sometimes with great ease, not knowing the fight that others had to fight before us in this spiritual space. We know women's rights outside of the church. We don't know the cost of what it was for women, particularly even ladies like Dr. James, that when women were not widely accepted in spaces and being deliverers of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Diana said Elder Teresa made her go home and apologize to her grown sons. That's good. That's when healing occurs. Hey, Miss Ohio Realtor. Um, that's when that is when um healing and transformation occurs, when we hear something and it becomes something that pushes us to action. My prayer is that something at this conference push you to action, that yes, it was a great experience, and sometimes we try to recreate the experiences, but God brings us sometimes into one place in a cocoon of sorts, that we can all experience this outpouring of the Spirit, so that now we can be moved to action in our respective places. And so let's back up. So we backed up to Dr. Ruby Hollins. Friday morning, the mentees all did such an excellent job. They did an excellent job. Y'all have heard me say this before. My form of mentoring is other mothering. It is really other mothering. And I want to say this: I have never, ever desired to replace the mother of my mentees. I'm grateful that I did not have a void in my life that would make me want to usurp the relationship they had with their mother. Sometimes when we're talking about mentorship, Ruth and Naomi's and things of that nature, we have to be careful that the people that is mentoring you, that you're not filling their void, and you're not, and I don't know what made me just say that, but that you're not filling their void. All of my mentees have different types of relationships with their mothers. I have never tried to interfere. I have never tried to replace their mothers, even the ones that had challenging relationships with their mother. My goal, even with them, was to redirect them and facilitate healing with their mother, because I understand if that bond is restored, that mentee will move further in life from a healed and a whole place. I'm not a replacement for the one that birthed them. Even though some call me spiritual mother, hey Zion, I am not a replacement for them. And so I want to say that first. And I'm gonna talk about Daria first, because she's right here, even though she went last. Daria's case is unique. She was raised primarily with her father and what we would call her stepmom. And so, but she's always had a relationship with her mother, always been, her mother's always been in her life. She was just raised more predominantly with her father and her stepmom. And so both of Daria's mothers, as I call them, I didn't know, everybody would not know that story that way. When we began to minister to Daria's, well, that's later. When we ministered to Daria and laid hands on Daria, we called both of her mothers there, up there. And one Mama Gloria is the prophetess. She is the prophetess. But her biological mother, she still is her mother. And so we don't realize the singing. Her father and her biological mother sing. And so everything about Daria is a combination of the three of them. It is a deposit that she had from the three of them. Hey, Asia, congratulations. Asia's had to miss the last two Closing the Gap conferences, and she would have been there. Asia is, yes, Anthony, it was the fivefold ministry in action, seeing my five mentees. Asia is April's mentee. April made it to the Asia made it to the top 10. Was it the top 10 contestants she was running for? Put it in the comments, Asia, so I don't mess it up, what you were running for. She has been in a pageant the last 2 years and could not attend Closing the Gap conference, because she's normally at the monthly Closing the Gaps. And so normally too, she's always around, but she just was in a pageant this weekend. And so we're proud of you, Asia. We're proud of your confidence and your ability. She was, yes, Miss Texas. So she made it to the top 10 of Miss Texas. And so we're proud of you. We're believing God that this is opening doors for you in other realms and spaces for you to be a light in the world. She is a school teacher, and I don't want to say, I'm not telling you to leave your job, but I'm telling you there is more in you than what you get to deliver at your job. And so my prayer is that God, because this is expansion, that God expands and opens those doors. I know you already mentor young girls, but that even grows exponentially, that people will bring you in, that this will open the door for people to bring you in to speak. And as you will begin to speak and get paid to speak in 5 and 6 figures, that this will begin to grow exponentially because you did not turn it up. You did not turn back. Yeah, she is a gorgeous and anointed self. And I would have asked Asia to sing if she had not been in a pageant. So let's also say that she have a real anointing and a real talent to sing. And so we would have asked Asia to sing. And so we are grateful for that. So let's go back to talking about the mentees preaching. The mentees preaching, my stomach is growling, I don't know why. Started with Elder Erica. Now I'm gonna say this, I don't know, Jasmine may be the only one that didn't fully go over her time, but it's okay because now, my husband's already said, you're going to give them more time next year. I get it. Elder Erica, I think, was the only one last year that didn't fully go over. But this year, she was like, I need y'all to expand my time. But the Lord used Elder Erica. Her title was expansion in language because she is a academic language therapist. So her title was that was the title given to her. That was the assignment given to her. Yes, Asia made the top 10 for Texas, Miss Texas, Pastor Dobbins. Y'all already saw Pastor Dobbins with the young girls yesterday, the young teenagers that we had him prophesy to. And so Asia is another one that he'll be like, oh, um, yes, that's true. Darius said, let's pray to number one. Yes, Darius said, I say to my time, it just, so Daria, her preaching was in time. It was the demonstration in which we needed of pressing in the wall. And so all of them were phenomenal. All of them were phenomenal. Erica, I think I'm gonna just start saying the highlights. Erica, her clothes were so strong and she pushed us. And April came right in and was able, sometimes it's hard to come in when the person before you is on such a high note. And so, but April was able to come in and go and flow and begin to talk to her. I think what really stood out to me was April was talking about preparing the altar at home and going back to the altar. And then the demonstration of her movement, which was with the flags, because she flags and she flags and when she praise dances. And so it was phenomenal. And I love all of my mentees. But I love Jasmine. I don't say I love it different. What I love about Jasmine is all of my mentees can be churchy except Jasmine. And I appreciate that Jasmine does not fall under the pressure to be churchy. She is just who she is. She is going to be chill in who she is. And so I appreciate that she didn't try to come in and be this, that she was able to deliver with such precision. And her topic was, and these topics were given to them. Jasmine is laughing. Listen, exactly. Darius said, "I'll sit at her feet all day." She ain't gonna try to be churchy, but the way she gave us a picture of what it looks like to take over territory. And she used some of the gerrymandering that we have seen out there, how they are redistricting to take over territory. And she said, we need to be like those that are redistricting to take over territory. I believe it is Walker Ray Renee. I believe it is. I think so. It is. It's on Saturdays. And so she began to tell us how to take over spiritual territory and how to take. And she said, I want my father, I want my brother, I want my sister, I want my mother, and all of that. And so I was, yeah, that is it. Anthony said Professor Jazz was straight to the point and authentic. Yes. Let me then get to Vanessa. And Daria is saying this. She said, my forever baby Nessa, because Vanessa has always been the baby of the crew. Yeah, April did the demonstrations very, very well. She did. That's why I said I liked how the flow, the rhythm back, and her waving the flag. And so it was powerful. But yes, Vanessa, let me say, they did all level up. Vanessa, showed us she been reading her Bible. Anthony said my tink, his wife. Uh, Not that we didn't think she been reading her Bible, but Vanessa started dropping stuff. We like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, wait, Vanessa got a preacher's voice. Wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Vanessa, it is on YouTube, Shania. Um, it is, I don't even know. Vanessa dropped so much talking about, David and Saul. She just went through all through the Bible. Yeah. Darius said she watched the video like, who are these five women? Like she didn't even know them. Like, so yeah, it was powerful. It was great. It was great. Yeah, so Rockaway Renee, some of my mentees have been in the classes that I do online. So she said getting to know them on Monday night, she can't wait to hear them preach. Yeah, Vanessa was just, she walked the word. That's it, Minister Sharif. She walked the word. She did. She did. And of course, Daria was the closer. Yeah. Oh, when she talked about the bloodline and how God doesn't even use the bloodline, listen, she walked Anthony said it made him tear up as his wife. And so one of the reasons I had my mentees last year at the first conference and again this year is how can I say I am mentoring them and I am for them? Darius said, who even are we, these little Christies? That's true. That's true. I cannot say I am mentoring them, that I am training them, and that I love them, but I never use them. I'm gonna say it again. I cannot say I am mentoring them, I am training them, discipling them, whatever you want to call it, other mothering them in seasons, and not allow God to speak through them. It would be hypocritical for me to say I'm going to bring in people from everywhere else and not allow them. That's even why last year I have mentored Elder Tawanji. That's why last year Elder Tawanji had 10 minutes. But after I saw Elder Tawanji last year, I was like, okay, Lord, we're going to give her a full hour. Um, I cannot, I cannot Diana said I could hear elder in every one of you. I could not authentically say I am closing gaps if I will not open the door for my mentees. It's not that would invalidate what I say I'm about. And so each of them did a phenomenal job. We were already behind time, and then I felt led. The Lord had spoke to me previously to lay hands and impart, whether it was me imparting, whether it was Pastor Dobbins imparting. Because remember, closing the gap is not just about me. Whether me imparting, whether closing the gap imparting, um, or whether it was me or Pastor Dobbins or Elder Teresa, or even Lady Harris who came up and helped and facilitated. I cannot say that I am their mentor and I not provide them an opportunity. And so when Darius said back to me on Saturday, wherever you go, we go. That is my sentiment. Wherever I go, they go. And so that has to be dual. I cannot say that I love them and want the best for them. And sometimes what we see is people who lead a person so far and then they break off. And generally it's competition or comparison or all the things. And so I am godly proud of each of them to see the Lord move them and move through them. They were all prepared. They all were prepared. Yeah, not just in location. Yeah, Daria, in elevation. And they are five. It was five. Number of grace, fivefold ministry, whatever, all of the things, all of the things. I cannot say, and I'm grateful because I think part of the reason I think that way is I never sensed from my mother or my aunts that they were ever in competition with me. So I can't ever fathom saying I'm pouring into you. Yeah, there is, Shannon. She said, so you mean there's reciprocity in mentorship? There is. There definitely is. Hey, Elder Yvette, it was so good to see you this week. Hey, Amanda. And so I was very, very proud of the mentees. And then Edro is just Edro. It ain't nothing you can do about Edro. Edro is Edro. I don't know the day the world will know her name. I do not know when the world will know Edro's name. That is part of my vision, Anthony. You're right. That is part of my vision. I don't know the day though, Edro, who did worship on Saturday, when the world will know their name. I was getting my makeup done Saturday morning and they were in there doing sound check. I got out of my car in sound, not of my car, what am I saying? Out of the chair and ran in the sanctuary where they were doing sound check because the sound check was oily. The sound check with Edro was so oily. Yeah, Miss Ruby Allen said they all were very well prepared. She loved all of them. Um, each mentee handled their business. They did. They did. Each mentee handled their business. Yeah, but Edra came after them, and then Elder Tawanji. I just can't say enough about Elder Tawanji. I told her this week she and I would talk. Not that I'm telling her something she doesn't know, because she walks heavy. She walks heavy. And the heaviness that Elder Tawanji walks in is she's heavy across the board. She's heavy in the spirit. She's heavy in business. She's heavy when she's doing prison ministry. When she said on that business panel, I want to be the Procter and Gamble of the prison industry. And she's already have product in there that the place where she served time is now paying her for her products. Yeah. Michelle said I can't spell her name, but Edro is special. Edro is Ejiro. That's what we call her. It's a long name. I can't even say her full name. Um, but she is definitely special. She is definitely special. She is definitely anointed. Um, and it's just her. Yeah, she said Edro had her in tears. And Edro just flows. And I'm sitting here thinking, where are the she flows so and goes with the spirit that I'm like, where is she don't have enough time. She need an hour. She need an hour. Is it EJRO, Anthony? Okay. I thought it was EJRO or something like that, but Edro. That's all we'll say. Yeah, Tawanji does have the Midas touch. She does. Everything she touches turns to gold. And prophetess, pastor, Tawanda Usher, after the people were at the altar where, thank you, Asia. It is EJIRO. I thought it was an I in there. Thank you, Asia. They go to church together. They sing together. Jamila says she had her in tears. While Tawanji was laying hands, my friend, my sister, prophetess Pastor Tawanda Usher leaned over to me and said, you don't have to introduce me. I want to just flow in this. You don't have to go up and say who I am. Let me just flow. And when I say she went up there and she flowed and we went up, we went up, 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 up. We went up, 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 up. There was so much prophetic worship that happened. There were so many songs in that room that was sang that are not a song. We sing unto the Lord a new song. If you prophetic, you will just flow in the spirit. You will sing unto the Lord a new song effortlessly because you're just flowing with the spirit. And whatever you hear the spirit say, Paul says to pray with an understanding and pray in English, but he says sing with the understanding and sing in English. And we're singing. We went up. We went up. Prophetess Tawanda Usher took us all the way up. There are no words really to adequately describe that. Now let me give y'all a side note. Let me give y'all a side note. Somewhere while Elder Tawanji was preaching, I left out of the room because they text me and said they're doing foot washing. So for those of you who don't know, Elder Lady Harris, she was on the panel last year. She just came to support this year. They've been pouring out so much. Her husband ran for mayor again. She just wanted to come and receive. But the Lord led her to pray for a young lady. And in praying for it, the Lord will use Lady Harris like this. It's a sign of humility, but it's a sign to let the people know how much God loves them. And they took this young lady in another room. They found someone got them water and they washed her feet. By the time I got in the room, all of the mentees were in there. All of them, and she sent for April. All of the mentees, I think she prayed for April. All of the mentees were in that room. Hey, Tiara. Hey, Brother Glaze. All of the mentees were in that room. All of the mentees were in that room with Lady Harris when she took the young lady, and I'm talking about the young lady you referred to, come Tiara, my friend from Louisiana. They took her in another room at when they were praying for her, and they began to wash her feet, and they began to prophesy over her. They began to so by the time they text me and I went out and went in the room, they had finished. They had all prophesied. Vanessa had prophesied and gave a word. Everybody in the room was giving that young lady a word. She was somebody that was referred by Tiara. I didn't know her. She came and the young lady received. And when I tell you, when Prophetess Tawanda Usher finished preaching, she began to prophesy to that same young lady. So now those in the room will know what I'm talking about. She began to prophesy to the same young lady and say the exact prophetic word. What was the terminology she said? She said she's a street stealer or something, a street snatcher, that you're snatching people off the street. And they said that's the exact words that were said back in the room, that she's a street snatcher. And she said, you're snatching people off the room. I love you so much, Tiara. I love you. I love you. I love you. She said, you're snatching people. So Prophetess Tawanda is now saying publicly what was just said privately in the back when Lady Harris and the ladies were laying hands on her and washing her feet and really pouring into her. And then the young lady came over to me and gave me money and said, this is all I have. I need to give you something. And by the time, and it was in the crowd at the altar, so nobody even really knew. By the time she walked away, yes, snatching people off the street. By the time she walked away, Pastor Usher says, I need to sow a seed into you. And then several other people started sowing seeds. Now I had to go up there and say, can I say something? Because I needed Pastor Usher to know real time that this woman just handed me her last. And in real time, God restored and gave her back more than what she had just given me, more than double what she had given me. And so I'm telling you, there were so many moments like that that people didn't even get to see, that the people didn't even get to envision, because God, I am grateful that we've created a space where people can get what they need. And so even on Friday night, one of the ladies that was there, and she and her husband pastor in Waco, and Dr. Ruby Holland acknowledged her, and she was praying for her daughter, and the Lord was giving a breakthrough with her daughter. But I sensed that the Lord had something in Lady Harris, and so I went to my friend that I've known most of my life, and I said, hey, will you allow this lady to pray for her, because people need to know they're safe. I said, she's a safe space. And we watched Lady, you couldn't see it up there, Lady Harris sat on the floor with that young lady up there in the corner over there, rocked her in her arms and prayed over her. And so, yeah, the girl she gave the money to, Dr. Cecilia. Yeah. Yep, the lady she gave the money to. So there was so much glory that fell in that place. It just was, it was God. It was God. I am grateful. It is the Lord's doing. Back when I first started Closing the Gap, every time I would post about it, I would use Psalms 118, I believe in 23, and say, it is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes, because no one could do this if the Lord wasn't with them. I'm going to back up to the end of the prophetic panel when the prophets all started prophesying to me. And there was a lot that the prophet said, and I need to go back and I need to listen to it. And then there was a couple there, Pastor Roberts. I think his name is Rudico Roberts. His church is in McKinney. Listen, Pastor Rudico Roberts, I had to resist my urge just to throw him the mic Friday night or Thursday night, because I know the type of prophet he and his wife, I know who they are. But he pulled me and my husband to the side. Yeah, n- yeah, Lady Harris never is afraid to do the work that needs to be done. She is never afraid. You're right. She's a gangster and a lover. It's just odd. She'll cut you if she have to. But she is the one that's going to love you to Jesus. She is going to come down on wherever you are. She's going to sit on that floor with you and love you with the love of the Lord. But Pastor Rudico, I hope I'm saying his name right. He's from Bahamas. He and his wife, he gave me and my husband a word privately. He prophesied privately. And he was mostly prophesying to my husband, because when I met them, when Dr. Delane preached for them at the end of last year, he prophesied to me maybe about 15 minutes. It was a very long prophecy, very thorough, very complete. But I want to say, when they began prophesying, one of the things Dr. Delane said, she asked, and I don't want to mispronounce her name, Pastor Robert's wife, to come up and lay hands on my wound and pray, while she said, there's a pain that's been in your body. And there had been a pain that had been in my body for about a month now. And I was like, oh, this enemy, it's a distraction. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And so I thank the Lord for being intentional, even with me, for being intentional, even to go to the place. Um, Oh, so Jamila went to their church this morning, because their church is in McKinney. Yes, I told you. She said what power they possess in the spirit. I'm telling you, they do. I don't know what we're going to do together, but in my mind, I see us doing something. Yvette says it was a safe place. It's the only public place in the last 2 years that I have been able to let down my guard and receive from the Lord on deep levels. Wow. Thank you, Elder Yvette. I love you. I love you so much. I'm glad that your husband was able to come with you one night too. Uh, Diana, oh yes, Diana received healing. Diana was one of the ones serving and received healing on that Saturday. She came with physical pain in her body and left pain free. So listen, the Lord is doing what the Lord does. If we do what we're supposed to do, the Lord will do what the Lord does. And I know I normally try to stay an hour or so here. It's been an hour and 40 minutes, but I wanted to unpack and kind of debrief with you all publicly some of the things that the Lord did at this conference. And that the Lord, it is marvelous in our eyes. Good evening, the key journey. And I know that the Lord is going to do even greater. Again, I was grateful that Kitty Rose was able to come. I'm also grateful that the Lord even we were able to pour back and give to her. I never want to be a taker, and I don't want to be a user. And I watch and I see people use people because they're large and they're growing. But I want to be a good steward when people come into my space with their heart, with their soul. I want them to leave. Thank you, Lord. These are the words. These are the words, with their soul intact. I want them to leave with their soul intact when they come out of our presence. I want them to leave with their soul intact. Okay, I guess this is how we're going to close. Dr. Cecilia said, let's rewind to Thursday when you explain a slave mentality. She wants me to explain the slave mentality. At the end of service on Thursday night, thank you, Lord. Ooh, now I don't want to be on here all night. Uh, at the end of service on Thursday, I said that the Lord has to recondition some of our minds, because the structure and system of church has created a generation, I'm saying it differently now than I said then, of slaves. And what I meant by that, I must go back to my example with Daria, Vanessa, April, Erica, and Jasmine. Yes, I have poured into them of myself. Yes, I have walked with them and given of myself to them. But they also have served me. So how dare I go and now begin to have conferences and I not allow the Lord to be visible through them? I not give them an opportunity. The slave mentality that I was talking about is, in the name of service, churches have profited off people laying their lives down to serve that church, yet that church does not provide opportunity for those people to fully realize their potential and their gifts. People have laid their lives down in churches and served those churches for 10 and 15 and 20 years and still only not permitted to be who God has called them to be. For the sake of I'm trying to really tread lightly here. Let me know if you're still here, Derry. I know I need backup. Um, for the sake of, and they've been trained that only the pastor's vision is important. We'll preach vision, we'll preach go do it, we'll preach step out on faith, but the system prevents you from going to do it. The system actively resists you walking in your full potential. I will not be that system. That is not the system of the Lord. That is a slave. I have not really served you. I am now a slave here because I have restrictions and limitations put on me, all in the name of order, all in the name of loyalty, all in the name of whatever it is, whatever it is, whatever it is. And so there were people in the room who have served a system. God, they have served a church, but it's really a system. You have served it. You have served it. You have served it, and it did not serve you. Oh, Jesus. You have served it, and it did not serve you. You have served that system, and that system has tried to restrict you, has tried to restrain you. That system actively even tries to silence you. All in the name of the Lord. Thank you, Jamila. All in the name of the Lord. It is not, it is not, it is not the will of the Father that you sit somewhere and lay down your life. And they'll say things. Thank you, Walkaway Renee says, the system is elevated above the spirit. And they will say things to prevent you. I'm gonna tell you what's wrong, why it's really wrong. It's hurtful, but I'm gonna tell you why it's really wrong. Because it is a system that is actively resisting God's will from coming to pass in your life. It is a system that is actively resisting God calling you to be a prophet, God calling you to be this. And now we have these systems because they have not been operating by the Spirit. This is why we get things that we call church splits. This is why, because somebody finally breaks free from the system like a runaway slave. That's it. I forgot I said that, Derek, because I was in the flow. Are you a slave or are you a son? Are you a slave? Remember, women, even though we're women, we're all sons in the spirit. We're sons in the spirit. Brother Glaze, I didn't even know you were still here. So you've been saying this for years. We're all sons in the spirit. I forgot I said Thursday, are you a slave or a son? See, a son is obedient to the father. A son is going to obey what the father says. A slave checks with the system every time. What was meant perhaps originally as checks and balances or accountability was not balanced. Perhaps the intent in the beginning was for checks and balances and to make sure. And I believe in vetting people. I believe that if I'm going to send you out, I talk to my mentees. I believe I cannot police people, but to the best of my ability, I know that my mentees love God. I know that they are actively seeking God. I know that they are actively walking with God. I know that they're not out, uh, listen, they're not out, I'm just be frank, whoring in the streets. You can't police people on everything. So I understand wanting a level of accountability. But we have taken what should have been a level of accountability and turned it into a level of control. And so when the system actively, I'm going to be clear about that, actively prevents you from fulfilling God's plan and purpose on your life, they are no longer fighting you, they are fighting against God. And this is why some of the systems have walked into challenges in these last years. It worked for a season. That's true, Shannon. Being in the system so long, it's no longer important that they even know who I am. And I know that is not the will of God. That is not the will of God. Hey, Jillian, that is not the will of God. God would not call you. God would not anoint you. God would not do all of these things for you to have to sit. And I'm going to be honest. I agree. I agree. I agree. Control, manipulation, and witchcraft. I'm going to be honest. It hurts me to see people who I have known that were called, anointed, and they have to do it in hidden spaces, because if you don't do it in hidden spaces, if you don't do it in hidden spaces, the system will come against you. Hey, Shalonda, love you. I'm so glad you were able to make it. The system will actively come against you. And the system has trained all of the people in the system, which will make the people actively come against you. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to go into all detail. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. Let me be honest for a moment. My mentees know this. Every one of my mentees know this. There were systems, I'm going to word it this way, that actively opposed closing the gap. You have no idea to get to 10 years and not stop because systems were actively against closing the gap. In turn, it made them actively against me. And you still have to love. You still have to preach. You still have to go before the Lord and say, Lord, I release them. Lord, I release them. Father, forgive them. Father, forgive them. Father, give me the strength to forgive. Give me the strength. Keep my heart pure. Keep my heart pure. Because when the system, listen, the system, and we don't even know. I told my husband, I said this at Closing the Gap conference last year, if we're not careful, history will record us as a cult, because it is cultish like behavior. Hey, Elsa, oh Lord, I got real help. It is cultish like behavior to control people in a system. It is the active muzzling the mouthpiece of God by a system. And so when I said on Thursday night, there were many people in that room that needed to hear that God is breaking you out of the system. And like the nursery rhyme, London Bridge is falling down. The system is falling. I said that to my husband the other week. I said, oh, the London Bridge is falling down, falling down. My fair lady, that was a nursery rhyme. I grew up on nursery rhymes. That was a nursery rhyme. London Bridge, the system, hey, free, is falling down. It's falling down. Because unless the Lord builds a house, they that labor build it in vain. Sometimes it takes a long time before you realize you built in vain. And so that's what I meant. That's true. Brother Glaze says the biggest cult system in Dallas has fallen. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. That temptation is real, free. And so that's what I meant. The spirit had fallen and I didn't want to keep going and belabor the point. I knew some of the people who needed to hear that message were not fully getting it. And I just said, Lord, you'll have to give me an opportunity later. Dr. Cecilia said 32 years in, and I promised I get it loud and clear. Amen. Thank you, Elder Yvette. Thank you, Elder Yvette. And if we're not careful, this is another reason my mentees had to preach at my conference. We'll duplicate the system. Sometimes the thing we become is just like the person that grew up in an abusive household that grows up to be the abuser. If you're not careful, you will duplicate the system that constricted and constrained you. They are falling, Elsa. Everything that will be shaken, yes, only God's kingdom will stand. So that's what I meant by, for those that are just joining, they asked me, I made a statement at the end Thursday night. What did I mean? Could I further clarify that statement about being a slave? And it is a slave to the system. When he whom the Son has set free is free indeed. It's free indeed. Free indeed. My mentees have heard me say this for years. I don't own people. And I'm saying to them, I don't own people so that they will know no one can own them. I don't own people. Nobody owns people. The people belong to the Lord. I don't own people. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I can't, one day, maybe later in life, I will tell the fights of the systems, because the system is, they've conditioned the hearts and mind of the people, so the people then try to help protect the system. Hey Darian, hey Jay Boogie, we getting ready, we're coming off. I've been on an hour and 55 minutes doing a debrief of the Closing the Gap conference. I'm gonna hold this up again. I will have a link in my bio tomorrow for those. We ran out of some of the conference merch because I didn't want to have a whole lot of merch that people did not buy. We are the Lord's sheep. Yeah, we do not lord over the look. This is the church that has been established on his word. Yes, Marcia, it was. It's on YouTube, Marcia, if you want to watch it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. God bless you, Nima. Yes, the people help protect. That's true, Brother Glaze said they can't stop you now. It's too late. Hey, Israel, I need y'all to clap for Israel, my musical director. But also, Free just came on. She wasn't on earlier. Free was the conference coordinator, and I want to give Free a round of applause for coordinating the team. Coordinate. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember that in Boomerang when they were talking about coordinate. I thank you and I appreciate all that you do. I appreciate you, Israel. You know I love you. And Deja, his wife Deja, was on the background singers. I love all the background singers. I appreciate their sacrifice, their labor of love. And I'm gonna say this: we had a big budget this year that was out of my comfort zone. So for those who feel led, I ask y'all to please still sow. If you feel led, please still sow into the conference. You can still sow into the conference. Oh, I will come back to it. Can somebody remind us? For those who don't know, my son Joshua got on for a minute while I went to go get the pillows to show the pillows that we had at Closing the Gap. But can somebody remind them in the comments what my son Joshua gave y'all homework? I think it was Isaiah 58. Yes, singers sang down. But I also want to show y'all the commemorative merch. This was a commemorative tee. The tee is $60. We only had like 15 of them. Well, clearly we sold 14 because I have one. So for those that said they still wanted a shirt, please what are we doing, Daria? He said read Isaiah 58 verses 8 through 11. Just going to read Isaiah 58. We are going to put a link in my bio sometime tomorrow for people that want, so we can I did hold my mule on the prophetic panel, Brother Glaze, because I don't want to seem like I'm in competition with my guests. I pulled back a little bit, Brother Glaze, but you're right. So a purchase form will be released tomorrow in my bio sometime. Give us to the afternoon for those that still want this shirt. Um, I will also say we have a lot of new merch. Dr. Cecilia suggested that we have a pop-up shop at the next Closing the Gap, which is August the 8th. If you're locally, please meet us. We normally meet monthly, but we're off the month of July. He is a young man, but an OG in the spirit. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jamila. Free. You did pray the house down. Free prayed the house down. They're saying it over here on YouTube. Tube saying she operated with such excellence. She was kind to everyone. You're a beautiful soul. But Free prayed the house down. And I'm gonna tell you, Free, Pastor Dobbins said, oh, you're going to do something with Free. You're going to do something with that. You hear all of that in that prayer? You're going to do something with that. Okay. Oh, so y'all give us really till Tuesday. We're having a meeting tomorrow night and we will put everything together. So give us until Tuesday. Hold on. Okay, I'm getting notes from everywhere. Yes, so I'm going to say what that person sent me. We are going to have an official form for you to fill out. But if you are interested in the shirt, just so we can kind of get an idea, we are creating a merch website too. We are. Yes, Free prayed the house down. Um, who else prayed? Taylor prayed the house down. Taylor prayed the house down. Marissa prayed. Did anybody else pray? Can somebody tell me? Because I wasn't in a pre-service prayer. And they kind of shifted who I was praying, so I trust that that's for them. And I want to say thank you to Taylor, Elder Erica, Daria, everybody on the team. But I will say this, the people that physically set up, Daria was flying back in, but the people that physically set up everything was Taylor, Elder Erica, Jasmine. Jasmine ran all over picking people up from airports. There was delays, got stuck in FIFA traffic. She missed part of some of the sessions because she's stuck in FIFA traffic for the World Cup. Just 3 people prayed. Thank you, Closing the Gap Ministries. Just 3 people prayed. Taylor went in and Marissa opened the door. Yeah. And so I'm proud of the young people. We are generational at Closing the Gap. We have always been. It's not a trend. We're not new to this. We true to this. We've been doing this since June 25th, 2016. And so, the close even on Saturday, we called out several teenagers that were in the office, and Pastor Dobbins really prophesied to them, and even young adults like 20 and 21. Pastor Dobbins really ministered to Daria's 2 children. She has 3, but 2 of her children, the prophet was asleep. But so the next Closing the Gap is scheduled to be in DeSoto, Yvette, but um, I have to double check, and I don't know if Darian is on here. I might see if it could be in Dallas. It still would be south, kind of. It still would be on this side of 30. If it's in Dallas, if we're going to do a pop-up shop, I might need to put it in a different space. So it's scheduled to be in DeSoto, but it may be Dallas. I have to double check. It may be at the Cedar Crest Community Center, which is still south of 30, if that makes sense. Yeah, everybody did great. I don't want to forget people, but I just know the work of being there at 7 on Thursday and 7 a.m. on Thursday, 7 a.m. on Friday, and 7 a.m. on Saturday was Taylor, Elder Erica, Free, Faith's husband Joseph was there, of course, helping. If I'm missing somebody, charge it to my head and not my heart. For those people that were there at 7 a.m. every day, making sure that everything was rolling. I even want to shout out Sister Burns, who works for the Jubilee Church. And if you are interested, just piquing interest. Nobody put it in the comment. Just piquing the interest. Nobody put it in the comments. We will have a form. We will meet about the pillows again, because for those who are just jumping on, this was part of the decor. And then people start asking, could they purchase the pillows? And so these are some of the pillows again that were part of the decor. And clearly we're going to have a Closing the Gap pillow collection. Um, Yes, Taylor. He said, always grateful for you allowing me to serve even at a women's conference. Yes. I think that is it. I think that is it. Yes, ma'am. Bring that to the meeting tomorrow night. I did mention that people wanted the pink Jesus over therapy, and I didn't have those. She said the orange, the pink, and the sage ones. Oh, that would be a good idea. Minister Sudi, Daria. Daria goes to the deck. She said, thank you because the South works for me. Um, Yes, the Jubilee team. We thank the Jubilee Church. We thank Bishop Drake for opening his church for a second year. We thank his son, Gregory Drake Jr., who was on media, who was on running the live streams and recording. We thank even the other young lady, I can't think of her name, who would be there when Sister Burns wasn't there. And even all of the deacons and men that move things around last minute or work the parking lot. We are grateful, grateful, grateful to the Jubilee Church. Um, Oh, that's funny. She said that, what about your stands if you had sold them? Those stands were actually really, really cute. That is a good idea though. Minister Sudi said, great option for a pop-up is Redbird Mall too as well. So that is a good idea. People wanted everything. Oh, the shirt stands, they would have bought them. Okay, that's the stands. Yes. So I think that is it. I appreciate you all. Again, you can still sew into the conference. I know the conference is over, but if you've ever had a conference and had a budget, you understand what I mean, that you can still sew into the conference. You can still sew. Cash App is CDobbinsMinistries. PayPal and Zelle or admin@ChristieDobbins.com, admin@ChristieDobbins.com. Put in their the CTG conference or conference. You can just put conference so that we can make sure that we are compliant and have just done everything that we need to do. This was a huge undertaking, larger than we've ever had. And so we will definitely appreciate anything that you can contribute toward it. May the Lord bless you real good. I spent a lot of time praying that He would. May the Lord God bless y'all real good. I love y'all. It's been 2 hours and 5 minutes. Love y'all. Thank y'all for staying with me tonight. God bless y'all. Yes, Diana says, so where you grow. Love y'all. See you soon. Bye bye.